after creating the endpoint, now we would like to deploy our model into this endpoint. And let's say this is the file that we would like to deploy our stuff here. So the schema here you can see is still the Azure ML to validate that this ML is using the correct schema. So if you open this, it's just JSON file you can see here, and you can see it contain all of these let's see components, or let's see inputs. And the name of the deployment, it's blue. Why it's blue? You can name it whatever you want, but it's like if you would like to use the A/B testing, it's this is, let's see, common to call the current model, it's blue, and the new one is let's see, green, for instance. And you can set the traffic 50 50, 80 20, and etc., just to compare the between two models. But we will see this in the next videos. And you can see here the endpoint, it's already defined. The endpoint is already defined in this file here, which we have seen it last time. And by the way, I have changed this schema because it was wrong, and it has to be a Kubernetes online endpoint. And also I have updated the names, so it should be, let's see, reflect what's going on. Now we would like to use this model we have already trained last time, and also the environment. This is clear, and this is the compute, which is already attached to the workspace. We have also see the workspace. Wait. And as you can see here in the, if you just remember when we have created the deployment Kubernetes files, let me just show you this one here, for instance, deployment and services deployment, for instance. And you can see here we have replica. It's just to let's see, scaling, how many scaling we need. Let's see, for instance, 10, 10, 20, and etc. Now here it's the same, but let's see, make it uh, more, let's say save to save money, because it's really expensive to use this. And you can see here minimum instance is 1, and max instance is, let's see, 2, because this is. And when to use, let's see, to extend this, it when you have the CPU utilization, it's 70%, and also the frequency in second, 10%, for instance. And pulse, let's see, this one, pulse, let's see, if every, let's see, 10 minutes, to check the CPU, if it's let's see, to check the CPU load. And the request setting here control how requests are handled. Each instance handle one request at a time, and it's wait up 90 seconds, which is it's in the milliseconds, which is in the 90 seconds for request to complete, and request can wait in a queue up to 500 milliseconds, let's see, to being let's see, dropped or rejected. And the resources here we have allocate container level, request minimum. For instance, the minimum is 1 CPU, memory is 2 gigabytes, and limited uh, maximum is 2 CPUs, and memory is 4 gigabytes. And for the score here, we have already discussed it last time, and I have, let's see, validate the concept of our example. And here we have seen, we see the core, we need the score script. It's in the score file. And where is it? Is it to, let's see, back in the, let's see, in the parent, let's see, directory, and then rows, and then source. You can see it, for instance. Let me just close this pipelines, many pipelines. But you can see it might be, let's see, confused to have several pipelines. Let's see, many pipelines, but it's really well structured. And let me just go to the score. Now here we have the score, and they also add the logging, so you can have a look. You can see the logs, inside the terminal and also in the file. Oh no, I don't need to change anything here. Just keep it like this. And yeah, let me just go to the config now. And you can see here I have using the score. And this score will be used inside the Azure ML. Now here we have variables environment. I have log level info because I have the logs inside a score. I need the log level is, let's say, info to log everything we have. And also for the logs I have already provide a log that will be, let's see, rotated when you have, let's see, if you look many datas and it exceed, let's see, 2 GB, it will try to back up and generate, or let's say create a new log file. We have already discussed this. And now the code, yeah, the code configuration we have already see it, the environment. And here this is now the liveness group. So the Kubernetes is use this to check if the container is still alive, and if failed 3 times in a row, the pod will be restarted, or let's say created. And so you can see here initialize 30. So for instance, 30 seconds. And if there's no, let's say, reply or connection, it will try to reply. And the readiness is check if the app is really ready to serve the traffic. Ensure that Azure ML only send the traffic to containers that are, let's say, ready. And the description is anomaly detection, or you can see it with anoma vision, anoma anoma vision model with auto scaling. And if you have, let's see, and this is a tags that might be, for instance, for search, or maybe it's cost tracking or filtering. And one point here, if you are working in a company and they are, let's say, offering you unlimited, let's say, costs, or maybe it's they have the subscription, so you can just change this to whatever you want. And let me now jump to the pipeline itself, which is deploy. It's not deploy. Let me just see it here, and ignore file, and it's here, create, and we also need to remove it from the file. And you can see now create deployment. To create deployment, you need this. Let me just go back to, because it was. So now we see how to configure the deployment. Now I would like to use this file to run the code with the code. Yeah, to run the code, use this environment, use this model, use this entries, and deploy the model inside a Kubernetes. To do so, we need to use Azure ML Online Deployment create. We need the file which is inside. Yeah, I have changed the name. So let's see, just copy, rename, and that's it. And here we see all traffic. So why I have added this to all traffic, because in the beginning when I have one model, I would like to deploy one model, I have to put all the traffic to only this model. And if you have two models, you can set the traffic into 50 50 20 20, I mean 80 20 and 70 30. It depends on what you would like to add. And here we need to add to check if to get, let's say, the endpoints, and just output some maybe it's like log file, for instance. What is the name? What is the score I? And the score I here, you can use it to run uh, to use the Streamlit app. And once you have this, you will try to run Streamlit app, for instance, the host and also the bot. And I have also in the previous, let's see, project that I have done such stuff, which is, let's see, what is the deployment, integration, production here. You can see I have created this file here, and this will try to test the score URI. It's URI or URL. It should be the same. And you can just run this file, and we will do it. I will do the same example. Let's see, just to have everything as in hand. Let's see. So now let's go back to here. Where's the file? Not this one. This one here. Okay, so I have now created this. Now I would like to go to the pipeline, the original pipeline, or let's say the main pipeline, and add here one stage. So I'm adding several stages. Why? It might be, let's see, confused, but it's really help you. So for instance, to just to figure out where is the problem and what is the, you can figure out what is the problem. Let's see, efficiently deploy endpoint, and it should be depends on this one. And here we have create deployment, create deployment. So now if I run this pipeline, it will try in the beginning to, I mean, this should be end-to-end pipeline indeed. So I have this here, unable to load from schema, blah, blah, blah. Never mind. Yeah, this is, let's see, end-to-end pipeline. So it's starting with update the submodule because they have integrate, let's see, add a submodule here, Anoma Vision. Use the Python 3, 3.11, install the dependencies, run the test, data validation if the data is really valid that we have already uploaded to the cloud. Train the model, register the model and put it, let's see, in the registered model. Yeah, download the model, and if, let's say, someone is interested in build images, build Docker images, and use, for instance, save it in the container registry, he can also follow this. Otherwise, for instance, this from here until this one here, it's not needed. Let's see. Oops. Because I have said there's two paths, or yeah, let's call this two paths. One is to use container registry. We have a Docker image and push it into the container registry, and this attach this container registry into the Kubernetes AKS. And the second one is to use a score file, which we have already, let's see, did now. And if you are using this, you need to comment this one from download. You don't need to download because we are just downloading the model and use it for the fast API, inside the fast API, to build the image. And let me just see, comment this out, and yes, I think now it should work without any issues. Now after creating this, you will have created endpoints, and this endpoint you can use it with using this scoring URI. And with that here, you can, let's see, you can open the terminal, and let's see, not the terminal. Yeah, you can open the terminal inside the Azure itself. And after, of course, after doing everything, and by the way, please don't forget to run this pipeline here first, bootstrap. This will try to create all the components you need. And as you can see here, I have commented this. For instance, these are, let's see, really needed to work with Kubernetes. And this is for GPU if you have already interested in. And let me just comment this. Now, if you see now the pipeline, it will try to create a resource group. This is an installation, the machine learning extension, creating resource group, creating the workspace, and creating the container. You say it's not, let's see, needed right now. I will see. And here, if you would like, with the cluster itself for the training, it's needed. Yeah, see, it's down. Yeah, it should be up. But this is the order. Let's see, it doesn't make any difference. Of course, if you have to create in the beginning the resource group, then the workspace. This order is important. Now let's see here. I have created a cluster for only for the inference, and you can see when I see here the enable inference, only the inference. It should be working for the inference. If you use Kubernetes for training, it might be, let's see, much money or costing. And after creating the AKS, we need to attach it to the workspace, and with a different name, or you could use the name that you maybe the same, but I'm trying to use different name. And yeah, because the cluster itself, the Kubernetes, it has one name, and if you attach it to the workspace, it should have a name. It might be the same name or might be a different name, but I have using a different name. And this, of course, did already defined in the pipeline itself. And this is to creating the cluster for the training. And if you would like to use a GPU, it's also up to you. But I will see that for the training, it's super fast. I mean, it will take 1 or 2 minutes in my local PC, which is not that powerful. And on the cloud, it might take, let's say, several minutes. But even if you have a GPU, it will be, let's see, minus, let's see, 3 or 4 minutes. Then I will upload the dataset I would like to upload. Now creating the environment. I would like, for instance, the environment that I would like to use Anaconda or Docker or anything. But here I'm using the Docker. So please keep in mind when you run this pipeline and tells you that it's successfully created, or let's see, finished, creating the environment is taking much time. Maybe at least, let's see, 10 or 15 minutes in this range, let's see. But yeah, just to make sure that not, for instance, after, if you have seen, let me just show you. For instance, this here, when you see the pipeline is running successfully, you see, okay, I will try now to trigger the second pipeline, which is the training. And let me just show you this one here. No, I don't need this. You can see, for instance, this is the pipeline creating the Azure ML and container. If you would like to you create container, uploading the images, registering, check out. This might take 9 minutes, right? But inside the Docker, it's inside the Azure itself, it will take several minutes. And if you can just also imagine, sometimes you would like to create a resource group. For instance, if you go here and create a resource group, it tells you that in the command line, or let's say CLI, your workspace or resource group is already created, but in the background it's still working. So this is what I mean by now after running this pipeline here, you have to run, or let's see, by the way, one hand here, this component here, it's not needed, let's see, to be created at once. But if you are following this stuff here, you have to run this as it is. But for instance, let me just assume that I have in the beginning creating everything, but for the images, I still need maybe to, let's say, clean the data. So I don't need to let's say, upload the images. I will just comment this out and just use this after, for example, finishing the cleaning. You can run this command, only this command. It's not needed to be in the same pipeline. Now, after the components are already exist, and to make sure the environment is already succeeded, you can run the pipeline. Oh, no, not this one. You can run the pipeline here. So this is really end-to-end pipeline. And in the next lessons, I'm not quite sure if I will cover this, but it should be, for instance, the uh, how to uh, how to monitor, let's say, monitoring data drifts and also API testing. And we can use also for the monitoring for the uh, Kubernetes. It's Grafana, which is really interesting interesting tool, and we can also use it. But this is, let's say, to create end-to-end pipeline from creating the resources until creating the endpoint and also deploying the endpoint. That's it for today, and thanks for watching. And if you like this, please subscribe into my channel, like the video. Of course, if you have any question, just drop it like in the comment below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.